What'd you think of the new Spider-Man?
I thought it was good.
Yeah, I think there's a new one coming out this summer too.
Yeah, that one looks awesome.
Yeah, it's got Electro.
Yeah, and have you seen the trailers? Um, there's a video that's like a 2 or 3 minute long trailer. That's actually more like a teaser, and it's just like Spider-Man free falling,
Yeah,
and then he launches his web and he swings, and then he swings really high, and then it's just like, and it's almost like it's filmed on a GoPro, and it's just like falling, and you're feeling like the feeling of falling while you're watching
really.
it, and then it's just like boom, swing,
That's awesome.
and it's like 3 minutes of that.
Really.
Yeah, it's the most,
Oh.
it's the awesomest like superhero trailer I've ever seen.
I read a review of was it Spider-Man? I think it was Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 2,
Yeah.
and they said every single game should have a Spider-Man character.
Why?
Have you ever played Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 2? It
Yeah.
is one of the best games ever. I used to just swing around the city. That's all
Yeah.
I do. Just it was like Grand Theft Auto, but you're Spider-Man.
Yeah. That's
You
awesome.
just swing around. Every once in a while, a little blip will pop up on your radar. You go kick some ass. You swing around. It was so fun. I could
Yeah.
swing around that city for hours.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was so good. And no,
Spider-Man was always my favorite character. Like when I was into comics as a kid, and Spider-Man is the guy that like it's like the X Games mixed with like Charlie Brown because the guy he like you it's the X Games because of Spider-Man, and then it's like the guy who gets his ass kicked emotionally in school, emotionally by his Aunt May, who's basically his parents, and then he goes out and physically gets his ass kicked as Spider-Man, and then he goes to his job and everybody hates Spider-Man there and tells him how much of a terrible person he is for being Spider-Man,
exactly.
but he still puts a smile on his face, gets out of bed every morning, makes a joke at every opportunity, has the greatest attitude, and then
Yeah,
he fucking flies off buildings, and you know what I mean?
yeah, I know.
Most relatable and most awesome character in comic books.
Exactly. And he's like the everyday kid.
Yeah. He's
He's
like
not.
he's Charlie Brown, but
Yeah,
he can crack a joke. Like
exactly.
Charlie Brown with an upbeat attitude. Like,
Yeah, Charlie Brown's kind of manic depressive.
yeah, it's not fair to say he's Charlie Brown because he's not. He's never depressed. He's like he should be Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
He's like Diamond Dallas Page. He's always positive. He's always positively Page.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Um, no, okay, so your dream, I know what you're gonna say. Your dream Spider-Man movie, what would it be?
Got to be Venom because Venom was my favorite villain as a
They already
child.
did Venom.
Yeah, but they didn't do Venom right.
Yeah, that was terrible.
hmm They had
I
a guy
actually,
that was smaller than Spider. The only guy on the planet that was skinnier than Spider-Man played Venom. Played
yeah,
Eddie Brock. So
yeah. I
that's not
actually
right.
listened on the Nerdist podcast again. I listened to Topher Grace. He
Yeah.
was on it, and he was saying that's his most recognized role. He's like, when I walk down the street, people don't call me Foreman, they call me Venom.
Really? That's
Terrible.
that's crazy.
No, that ruined um my upbringing.
Here's how I
You
would
know?
do. Here's how I would do a Spider-Man trilogy. Okay, I would do like something a little bit realistic, like a Doctor Octopus, where it's a little bit sci-fi, but it's like a guy that's made of robot arms. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
almost realistic, right?
Mhm.
And I would do the introductory story with like Ben, but I would have like Eddie Brock sticking around,
Yeah.
trying to do the reporting and stuff, and I would even have him get fired in that movie, and then I would do the sequel is Eddie Brock gets the symbiote and
Yeah.
becomes Venom, and I would do the Venom story in that. And then
Mhm.
the third one, all bets are off when the Venom spawns Carnage, and then
Fuck yeah.
it's like a triple threat match between, Spider-Man, Venom, and Carnage, where Venom's worst enemy is Spider-Man and Carnage, and Spider-Man's worst enemy is Carnage and Venom, and Carnage's worst enemy is Venom and Spider-Man, and they're
Yeah.
just trying to kill each other the whole movie, except for Spider-Man, who doesn't try to kill anybody, and Venom's just trying to eat Spider-Man's, brain and spleen
Yeah.
and shit, and Carnage is just trying to kill everything, kill everyone. And you
Yeah.
also have like this weird depth because like Carnage is like maniacal, wants to kill everything.
Mhm.
Spider-Man is like good, right? He's 100% good. He won't kill. And then you have Venom, who's like this guy that's bad but thinks he's good.
Yeah. Well, in the comic books, Venom becomes good.
He does, yeah. And I
You
don't I
know,
don't like that. I
I
think
didn't
that
like that either.
I what I liked, Venom was the first, like when you're a kid, you watch like a lot of Superman and the Joker and Batman, and it's these very clean cut, like Batman's good, the
Yeah.
Joker's bad,
Yeah.
Superman is good, Lex Luthor's bad, and there's
Mhm.
very, very like black and white lines. Wonder Woman's good, and
Yeah.
um, when I started reading comics and I picked up a Spider-Man comic, I saw Venom, and Venom's clearly the bad guy. He's this alien. He's this ugly, trying to eat Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's the good guy, right?
Yeah.
Um, but then you would read what Venom would say, what Eddie Brock would say, and he would say, Spider-Man's the bad guy. I have to kill the evil Spider-Man. And it was the first character that was a villain that I was like, okay, I understand this. He's not part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants or, the
Yeah.
evil, he doesn't have a membership to evils are us. He's like, I need to kill this guy because he's bad. I'm the good guy, and
Mhm.
that was the first like character that had not I don't think depth is the right word, but you know what I mean. He had like a real relatable, the first really relatable heel, like bad guy.
Yeah, he had a sense of what was right and wrong, but his sense of what was right and wrong was kind of twisted.
Well, he just
You know.
had a motive. He was relatable. You could understand
Mhm.
why he was doing this. He wasn't doing it because he's a bad guy. He was doing it because he got fired because of Peter Parker, and he thinks that Spider-Man's a bad guy, and he has his own twisted perception, which is reality. Nobody does shit because they're bad. People do shit because they think they're doing the right thing either for themselves or for their own sort of twisted motivation. And at like 8 years old when I first read what was it, Spirit of Venom, the series. That
Yes.
was the first comic book that I really remember reading about Venom, and I was like, yeah, this guy, I get it. He's not the bad guy. He's just complicated. He's a complicated character. That's
Yeah,
the word that I was
exactly.
looking for.
Yes, that's a great way to explain it. He's not bad, he's complicated.
Yeah,
And in the first, or I guess it was Venom was the third movie in the
yeah,
first series or whatever. They fucked that up so bad.
they
And
did.
I 100% agree with you about that's the way the trilogy should have been. It should have
Yeah,
been a Doc Ock type, even Electro, whoever. The Lizard would have worked. Then it should have been like the prelude to Venom. And
it
then the
would.
next movie would be the prelude to Carnage.
Yeah,
And then once you have those three, that could be a 3 hour epic.
yeah,
I mean, Carnage is by far my favorite. He is fucked. Like like the symbiote takes whatever you are and like amplifies it, right?
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the real reason why I think it would work is because in the comics, and like it would be perfect for the movie because you have Eddie Brock, who was kind of the enemy in the first movie, and then clearly like the enemy in the second, and then in the third one it's like an enemy so big that they have to have this unholy alliance where it's like the guy that he's been against the whole time has to band with him to fight Carnage, even though they
Exactly.
even though they hate each other, and they can even fight each other in the movie too, you know?
Yeah. I don't understand how the people writing these movies don't see that. That would be insane, but it would have to be with Carnage, in my opinion. It would have to be a rated R Spider-Man.
I don't think so.
I don't think you could do Carnage unless you rated it R, because he's sick. You know,
Yeah.
he tortured his puppy. You know, he is not he's not a normal person. It's a psychopath that has a symbiote bonded to him. So it
Yeah.
takes that psychopath and amplifies it.
Amplifies it, yeah.
So he's crazy to begin with. Like, I mean, he is like a scumbag, and then he gets this thing on him that just makes him insanely nuts and insanely powerful. And when you have like a force like that, you have carnage, literally.
Um, do you think we'll ever see a Carnage movie?
Uh, Honestly, when I seen this new Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, they're kind of going in a darker direction. Like the original ones with, well, not with Tobey Maguire were kind of, kid friendly. This new one was a little bit darker. I
Yeah.
didn't buy him as Spider-Man, but it was a little bit darker, and I kind of had some hopes, but it doesn't look like that's where it's going.
Well, here's the thing. I want to tell you something that I didn't tell you. We kind of were talking about this a little bit the other night. There's they've set up like a Spider-Man 2 and a Spider-Man 3. Before Spider-Man 3 is made, Sony is set to make a Venom movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that just kind of makes you wonder what's going to happen in Spider-Man 2.
It's gonna set it up for the Venom movie.
There's got to be, like, Venom's got to be in it somehow.
But who's gonna play Venom? That's the only thing. Is it? They can't do it like they did the original movies.
You have to have someone that's bigger, more physically.
It's got to be The Rock.
I would say The Rock. The Rock was someone who was up for the role. Vin Diesel was another person.
He could do it.
Yeah.
You know, like it's got to be. It can't be Topher Grace. It can't be.
No.
You know what I mean? That was so sad. I was so excited when I heard rumors on the internet that there's gonna be Venom.
Yeah, and Venom wasn't even in it that much, you know? Like it
I
was like
know.
like 5-10 minutes tops, you know?
Yeah. THC was in it the entire way.
Yeah.
Thomas Hayden Church,
Yeah.
the Sandman.
Yeah.
It was a Sandman movie with Venom on the side. How
Yeah.
can you do that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
That pissed me off.
what do you think of this new movie? What do you think it's going to be like?
The new Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Um, I don't. I haven't seen any trailers. I haven't seen anything like that.
Yeah.
All I know is Jamie Foxx is Electro,
Yeah.
and that's it. That's all I know.
Oh, I'm just checking this out here. It's the Venom movie set to come out before The Amazing Spider-Man 4.
Oh, okay.
So it's not after this one, it's after the next one. So they're probably going to do Electro, and they might even put a little Eddie Brock in there, and then probably the one after that's going to have a little bit of Venom.
Yeah, probably the last couple scenes will be Eddie Brock.
Do you know like the contractual situation with Spider-Man?
No.
So Disney is making all these X-Men movies, and they're doing this really cool thing where it's kind of like the comic books where they have all this crossover. Like most of the comic books that I read as a kid in the Marvel universe were you would get a Spider-Man movie with like Wolverine might fucking be in a bar, or
Oh,
like
same. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there'd be like a couple panels of like the Avengers or Fantastic Four at some point in most comic books.
Hmm.
There's a little bit of crossover, even if it's like see this previous issue where fucking so and so met so and so or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So Marvel has done a really great job of recreating that in film. They have a universe where characters can go into different, like, because years ago that would have been unheard of. You would never see like Superman and Batman in the same movie, which is a
Yeah.
different universe. But you know what I mean? Like years ago, if they said like Captain America and fucking Thor are going to be in a movie together, it would just be like, what?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But
Yeah, because
now,
they're in the multiverse.
yeah. So now, Marvel has done a really good job of doing that. The one guy that you don't see in the Marvel universe crossover is Spider-Man, and the reason for that is because back when the Topher, what was his name?
Topher Grace.
Is that the guy? No, who's the guy that played Spider-Man?
Oh, Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire. Back in the Tobey Maguire days, Sony signed a contract for Spider-Man, and they have basically unlimited renewals as long as they make a movie every so many years.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah, yeah.
So that's why after Spider-Man 3 bombed, they stopped the series and rebooted it and put out The Amazing Spider-Man right away because that, like everybody says, it wasn't enough time to do a reboot. Some time had to go. Well, Sony wants to hold on to those rights, so they just pumped that movie out. They knew they couldn't
Yeah.
do a sequel to Spider-Man 3, so they rebooted it right away to keep
Yeah.
the rights.
I knew that. Yeah, that's crazy. But
Yeah.
all in all, I thought it was a good movie.
And
Um,
there's a lady that's in charge. I don't know her name, but she's like in charge of this, in charge of Sony basically, and she sees the Spider-Man franchise as part of her legacy, and she has said that they will never ever let go of the Spider-Man franchise,
yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And it's terrible.
It is.
But if they can like you said, if they could do it right, if they did, the Venom Carnage series,
Hmm.
it would be epic. If they did it rated R Spider-Man
I don't
with
think
Venom and
you're
Carnage.
not gonna get. You can't do a rated R. Like, I'm
You know how
sorry,
much money that would make?
kids. Like
I
Spider-Man
know
is for
kids
kids.
love Spider-Man, but kids love Batman too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I don't. I
They
don't.
need
I don't think you're gonna get a like.
they could even do it, PG-13, PG-13, and then the Carnage R. Because by the time it comes out, all the people that seen it are old enough.
I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get a R-rated.
I
You
can't
you make
see a
you make
Carnage movie not being rated R.
you make a good point,
I
but
don't want to see a Carnage movie that's not rated R.
I think that there's ways you can do it in movies. Like you don't have to see the violence on the screen. It can be off camera. It can be implied. Things like that.
It's true, but no, it's Carnage. He's gotta be Carnage. You can't censor Carnage. You know what I mean? Like he's a fucked up character. He
Yeah.
needs he needs to be able to you need to be able to show how messed up this guy is and why Venom and Spider-Man need to work together to get rid of Carnage.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I agree. You need to show, but like you can do that off camera. Like for instance, in episode 3, there's a scene where Anakin kills like a room of like a daycare or something. They
Yeah,
don't show that. They just kind of talk about it.
they should have showed it.
you're, you're a sick motherfucker.
Well, no, to be fair, for Star Wars, I could see them putting it off camera. That's fine, but every comic book or every Carnage kind of thing, his name's fucking Carnage. that needs to be addressed. You need to see how messed up this guy is.
Yeah.
He's not a normal dude. He's not Eddie Brock. He's not Peter Park. He is insane.
Yeah.
You know, you need to show him like one of the comic books. He literally takes a razor blade and like shreds his puppy.
Yeah.
You know, you need to see that to well, maybe not that. That's pretty intense, but you need to see him like torturing people. You need to know that this dude is a force to be reckoned with.
See, I don't know about that. I don't think you have to, but I don't know. We're gonna talk in circles about this. Um,
Yeah, actually, it's like 4 in the morning. I gotta get to bed.
okay, yeah, I gotta work tomorrow, but I don't work until the evening. So
Yeah.
anyway, it was fun chatting. I'm gonna put us off the air.
All
Thanks for
right.
watching, everybody.
I love you, the internet.
The internet doesn't love you though.